सबको मेरा नमस्कार। आज हम यहाँ एकत्रित हुए हैं क्योंकि आज हमारा थैंक्सगिविंग डे है, फाउंडर्स डे। फाउंडर्स डे की स्थापना हुई थी 1954 में। इसकी स्थापना की गई थी बाय डॉ.सुनील और आज इसके 70 साल का मार्ग हम पूरा कर रहे हैं। इन 70 सालों में हम एक साल से आगे बढ़े, एक साल लेके, और समय जाता है, कभी किसी के लिए रुकता नहीं। मिनट्स बन जाते हैं, आवर्स बन जाते हैं, वीक्स, डेज, वीक्स और साल। और इस मैट रश में हम कहाँ तक पहुँच गए, कहाँ नहीं पहुँचे, कुछ पता नहीं चलता। तो फिर सितंबर का एक ये दिन है, इस दिन हम लोग पॉज करते हैं और देखते हैं पीछे पलट के कि हम कितने आगे आ गए हैं और हम डाइवर्ट तो नहीं हुए। हम लोग हॉस्पिटल का और डिसिप्लिन मेंटेन करते हैं क्या, और हम यहाँ विषम कटक में क्यों हैं, क्या पर्पस है हमारे यहाँ रहने का। ये सब सवालों का जवाब हमको ढूंढना है, तभी हम आगे बढ़ेंगे और हमें सफलता भी प्राप्त होगी। How far we have come, what is our goal and objective, why is Christian Hospital विषम कटक here, what is our purpose, have we been on the right path, have we diverted, have we kept up Christian laws and discipline, are we true to the spirit of the hospital world? इन सब क्वेश्चंस का आंसर ढूंढने के लिए हम आगे बढ़ेंगे। एक तरीका है देखने का कि हम कितना काम कर रहे हैं, उसको हम स्टैटिस्टिक्स निकाल के हम आगे अगर पेश करें तो हम देखते हैं कि करीब 76,000 पेशेंट्स हम लोग ओपीडी के कंसल्टेशन में बिताते हैं और एवरेज ओपीडी हमारा 248 रहता है। मंडेज को काफ़ी ज़्यादा होता है, फिर ट्यूसडे को कम होता है, फिर वेडनेसडे को बढ़ता है, थर्सडे को कम होता है। इस तरह एवरेज हमारा 248 होता है। नंबर ऑफ पेशेंट्स 50,000 करीब होते हैं और एवरेज डे सेंसस का 205 होता है। 42 एडमिशंस पर डे हमारे होते हैं एवरेज में, और डिलीवरीज 2,800 होते हैं, जिसमें नॉर्मल वैजाइनल डिलीवरीज 1,500 और सीएस करीब 1,000। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट सर्जरीज 4,700 सब मिला के होते हैं। लास्ट ईयर में हुआ है 2024, और इसके बाद गवर्नमेंट स्कीम खाने के लिए करीब 4,500 पेशेंट्स ने उसका स्कीम का फायदा उठाया। लैब में करीब 1,000 टेस्ट हो जाते हैं एक दिन में। लेकिन ये सेंसस देखने से हमें पूरा सेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं लगता। फिर हम लोग और भी देखें, आगे बढ़ के देखते हैं कि हमारे जो डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं वो कैसे चल रहे हैं। डिपार्टमेंट्स में मेडिसिन डिपार्टमेंट बहुत सिक पेशेंट्स, एक्चुअली लास्ट ईयर हम लोग ने पता लग गया था कि maybe because of PSK by maybe because we are doing what we should do. There were so many patients, all of them were so sick. They were on the 15 beds of casualty, फिर ट्रायल में, फिर बरांडा में, और उसके बाद जमीन पे भी। तो हम लोग ने डिसाइड किया कि जितनी जल्दी हो सके हम सिक पेशेंट्स को ध्यान करने के लिए एक आईसीयू बनाएंगे। तो फिर आईसीयू का स्थापना हुआ और एचडीयू के साथ में और आईएमसीयू के साथ बैठ करके है। तो प्रैक्टिकली देखा जाए तो हमने काफ़ी सिक पेशेंट देखे, इवन इन पीडियाट्रिक्स, नर्सरी, इंटरनली बिजी, lot of patients with babies intubated and on ventilator, सर्जरी डिपार्टमेंट में लैप्रोस्कोपिक सर्जरी डॉक्टर के पास आगे बढ़ाए हैं और नंबर्स इंक्रीज हो रहे हैं। उनकी कहीं तो पूरा फ्लडेड रहता है पेशेंट से। एंड दो हफ्ता पहले there were 13 deliveries in one night. So I don't know how they managed. 13 deliveries is quite a bit. Pediatric department has also seen a surge of 6 children. Dental department is doing rigorous work. The largest group of employees that we have are supervised by the nursing department. Nursing department में 30 ANMs, 104 ANMs, 15 PhD nurses, 33 nurses, 45 clinic staff और 10 health assistants. इतना सब संभालना आसान काम नहीं है, बट हमारे जो सीनियर्स हैं नर्सिंग डिपार्टमेंट में और प्रिंसिपल उन लोग संभाल लेते हैं। कॉलेज ऑफ नर्सिंग प्राउडली डिक्लेयर्ड अ फैंटास्टिक रिजल्ट्स, सब फर्स्ट क्लास और टॉपर भी हमारे ही होते हैं। अगर आप वो छोटा फोटो देखेंगे the topper is looking definitely और उसके बगल में छोटा सा अक्षर पड़ा। It's a very nice picture with Solomon and assistant भी ज़्यादा तो आजकल जाते हैं ना। So the new life English medium school has 580 students with them. I don't know how they manage that also, but they have only 21 teachers, and the results are so good that we know that the teachers are doing a lot of work. 98.2% पाके पूरे रायगढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में सबसे आगे हमारा बच्चा रहा है जुलाई। द एमआरएस के प्राइवेट स्कूल इन काचोपाजू हम लोग अभी विजिट करने गए थे। वहाँ बच्चे तो हैं, साथ में गोट्स भी। So the goats are doing well and the children are very happy and we were very glad to go to their class, and they asked so many questions. That is, I want the guests that we have with us, you will be asked a lot of questions, so you be careful with the children. They are so smart. Last year, the community department with Mitra team conducted 3 activities in 54 villages. Those are the villages which have adopted us, and we focus on malaria as usual, and CHB also, which is quite prevalent in the villages. We celebrated 20 years of Mitra Health Insurance Program, और villagers ने donation दिया Mitra को, and it was very touching that we all collected money and did so. तो देखा जाए तो ये स्टैटिस्टिक्स वगैरह देखने से हमको लगता है कि हम अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, बट ये हमें इसके भी सेटिस्फाई नहीं करता। अब हमारा दूसरा तरीका देखने का कि जो हॉस्पिटल्स में जो भी वर्किंग प्लेस में बिल्डिंग बन रहे हो वो अच्छा काम करते हैं, तो बिल्डिंग देखते हैं। 2-3 हैं। एक तो बिल्डिंग एक्सटेंशन कॉलेज ऑफ नर्सिंग का हुआ, वहाँ पे क्लासरूम और लाइब्रेरी लास्ट ईयर दिस ईयर मर्सी डॉनी थे, मर्सी ने ओपन किया, एंड वेरी ब्यूटिफुली डन लाइब्रेरी एंड क्लासरूम। गेस्ट हाउस का रेनोवेशन हुआ और उसका आउटलुक पूरा चेंज हो गया है, बहुत सुंदर। और 3 डॉक्टर क्वार्टर्स बन रहे हैं, really done, so I think हम लोग बोले थे 5 सितंबर, बट नहीं हुआ अभी। वहाँ पे 4 फैमिली क्वार्टर्स, 4 जूनियर डॉक्टर्स क्वार्टर्स, एक डाइनिंग हॉल, सब प्रबंध है। So what does it say about us? The buildings, the numbers what do they say? They don't mean the major crux of what we are looking for. What is our goal? नंबर बढ़ाना या बिल्डिंग्स बनाना हमारा गोल नहीं हो सकता. What is our purpose? ये पता करने के लिए हमने खोला जो बुकलेट है और उसमें पाया कि डॉक्टर मैक्सन had set out to achieve and laid it down for us in the Constitution with 2 lines that are important. The objective to administer the Christian hospitals and all activities at Visakhapatnam and specifically for purpose of treatment of persons suffering from illnesses or of persons otherwise requiring medical attention without prejudice of the generality of the above purpose. और इसमें ये लाइन छुपी है, to provide as an expression of the love of God as shown in Jesus Christ, medical service to the needy irrespective of caste, creed, community and gender. We are philanthropic institution, not for the purpose of profit. तो ये जो लाइन है, ये लाइन हमको बहुत स्ट्राइक करी. To provide as an expression of love of God as shown in Jesus Christ. तो ये expression of love of God क्या है? I think we should be looking into it. So the message I'm putting forward is the expression of God's love as seen in Jesus. We struggle to understand what God was telling us. So I think that is the purpose of Jesus coming between us. And He did the bridging of the gap between the humans and God. He had the power to heal and cure. He did many miracles. So many that the Bible couldn't put forward all that into the book. So why did He perform these miracles? So every miracle happening, He was proclaiming and introducing the kingdom of God. And the other thing that moved Him was compassion for the suffering. So that is the point which I want to make today. The compassion which moved Him and through the healing. So let us go through a few of the miracles and find out the common denominator. So in this picture you can see a doctor or a health professional, nurse maybe or paramedic being helped by the hand of Jesus Christ. How does God express His love for man while on earth, and how can we express love at our birthplace? We all know the story of the Good Samaritan. I would like to Govind here. Govind. So Govind will read out to us Matthew 22, 36 to 40.
हे गुरु व्यवस्था मध्य की प्रकार आज्ञा श्रेष्ठ से ताहू कहले तुम्हें आपणार समस्त अंतकरण समस्त प्राण और समस्त मन दे प्रभु आपना ईश्वर को प्रेम कर यह ही श्रेष्ठ और प्रथम आज्ञा द्वितीयटी यार सदृश तुम्हें आपना प्रतिवासी की आत्मतुल्य प्रेम कर। यही दुई आज्ञा उपरे समस्त व्यवस्था और भाववादी मानकर धर्मशास्त्र निर्भर करे।
Jesus put forward the answer. And हमारे लिए जो मैसेज है वो ये है कि जो हमारा नेबर है वो जरूरी नहीं कि वो हमारा फ्रेंड हो या पहचान का हो, but there is just one thing that is important, and that is his need. So neighbor is not only हमारे पसंद का हो, but उसको नीड के लिए हमारा हेल्प जरूरत पड़ेगी। तो जो भी है इसके लिए हम काम कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, वो हमारे पास नीड लेके आता है और इस नीड को हमको गौर करना है। The one who has mercy on him, Jesus replied, "Go and be like Christ." Thus, Jesus encourages us to follow the example of the Samaritan. Compassion is characterized by three elements, where I see and recognize the need. So there is a person in front of us. The first thing that we do is we see and recognize the need of the person. But वहाँ बात नहीं खत्म होती. Next step is I am moved by the need in my heart and mind. So उसका जो need है वो हमारे heart को और mind को touch करना चाहिए. But that is also not enough. I move in response to the need is the important thing. Unless and until we move in response to the need in word and action, it is of no use. In scripture we learn that we are God's children, not by what we say, but by how we love one who is in need. Can you read 1 John 3:7?
किंतु जे जागतिक भावे संपत्तिशाली होई अपना भाई को अभावग्रस्त देखिले ता प्रति अपना दया रखु करे ता ठारे ईश्वर को प्रेम किपरि रहि पारे।
Exactly. So we have to understand that unless and until we move forward, if we are free from hatred against our own brothers, our own people, we will not be able to deliver the goods. And true compassion means not only feeling another's pain, but also being moved to relieve it. We must show compassion to others because Christ showed compassion to us. It is not optional. We have to do it. It is necessary, and that is what our Constitution says. Matthew 20:29-33.
Matthew 20:29-33 से माने जीरोखरु बाहर जीवा समय रे बहु संख्यक लोक ताहांकर पछे पछे गले। आउ देखो पथ पार्श्वरे दुई जन अंध जीशु सेई पथ दे जाउथबा बोली सुनी उच्च स्वर कहले, हे प्रभु दाऊद संतान आममान को दया करंतु। मात्र लोक समूह सेमान को तुनी हेबा पय धमक देले, किंतु से माने आउरे उच्च स्वर करी कहले, हे प्रभु दाऊद संतान आममान को दया करंतु। सेतिरे जीशु ठिया होई सेमान को डाकी पचारिले, मु तुममान को पय कोन करिवि बोली तुमे माने इच्छा करूछ। से माने तांकु कहले, हे प्रभु जेपरि आममान को आखि फिटी जाय। आ जीशु दया रे विगलित होई सेमान को चक्षु स्पर्श कले ओ तत्क्षण सेमान को दृष्टि पाई ताहांको पछे पछे चलिबा को लागे।
So before and how the thing ends. came in front and asked them, what do you want me to do for you? He was asking the need. It is not necessary that a blind man will have the need of blindness to see. It could be something else. So he wants a specific reason. तो वो पूछते हैं कि आपको क्या चाहिए? तो the blind man बोलते हैं कि we want our eyesight. Very plain and simple and direct. And then that Jesus had there, compassion, karuna, and he touched their eyes immediately and they received their sight. So he did not have compassion because he was going ahead with the procedure. But he asked him, what do you want? And then he goes and does the need. But before that also, it's written that he has compassion again for the blind man and he restores his blindness. So even do we show compassion to our patients? Or we just write the medicines and go to 42, 40, 46, 31 injection and our job. So the compassion is something that is very important, and sometimes we don't even look at the patient, we just write it. So we have to be very sure that we are doing God's work here. And the last line says something else also. Immediately they receive their sight and follow him. So the blind people didn't move away and went off home, thanking him and not thanking him, but they followed him. Jesus was touched by the suffering of those around him, and that he had compassion for them and wanted to see the whole instead of judging people around these circumstances. Then the other compassion we see is the nurturing of their need. So for this, we all know the story how Jesus called the disciples to him because he had about 4,000 to 5,000 men and women and children who had been there for 3 days and they didn't have eaten anything. So he calls his disciples. I have compassion for them, for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and I have nothing to eat and they have nothing to eat. I do not want them to go back home or they may collapse on the way. So again, when we read this story, we have read it so many times that we forget to read between the lines. The fact about compassion, he had compassion, he had mercy on them. This is important. In this case, moved with compassion, Jesus supplied their physical needs, turning 7 loaves of bread and 2 fish into enough for a multitude. God loves us even when we feel He doesn't. Compassion through forgiveness. Jesus taking up and asked the woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you? So this is the famous scene when the lady with caught in adultery was going to be stoned to death. And he stands there and asks them that the one who has not done any sin will throw the first stone, and then they go away. So look at the way he talks to the lady. He says, so now go and live your life of sin. So this is the advice he gives the lady who was caught in adultery. That go now and live your life of sin. Jesus being moved with compassion, which means it feels sympathy or pity from deep within your gut. Feels sympathy for the woman caught in adultery. He forgives her, telling her to begin a new life. God's compassion is extended to us today. Let's walk away from the sin that condemns us and a new day, a new way with Jesus. So here it's very simply explained about the life of hers being spent in sin. Then the other compassion is through service. Some people show compassion through the service. Joseph of Arimathea is the type of compassionate servant. So when the others were under great fear and they had run away, this Joseph from Arimathea, he comes, takes the body, cleans it and balms it according to the Jewish faith. So this is an example of compassion in service. So here is a human being who is being compassionate to Christ. Finally, all of us, be like-minded. 1 Peter 3, 8-12. 1 Peter chapter 8-12.
8-12 पद जाए शेष कथा यही तुम्हें माने समस्ते एक मना परस्पर सुख दुखर सहभागी भातृप्रेमी कमल हृदय व नम्रचित हुओ अनिष्ट परिवर्तरे अनिष्ट किंवा निंदार परिवर्तरे निंदा न करी अन्य पक्षरे बरं आशीर्वाद कर कारण तुम्हें माने जेपरि आशीर्वादर अधिकारी हो एथिपाई आहूत होई अछ जे जीवन सुख भोग करबाकू पुणी मंगलर दिन देखिबाकू इच्छा करे से मंद वाक्यरू अपना जीवाकू आ प्रवंचना वाक्यरू अपना अष्टकर को निवृत्त करू से मंदर विमुख होई सत्कर्म करू से शांति अन्वेषण करी सेथिरो अनुगामी हो कारण धार्मिक मानक प्रति प्रभुଙ୍କର दृष्टि अछि सेमानको विनती प्रति तांकर कर्ण उन्मुक्त अटे किंतु प्रभुଙ୍କର मुख दुष्कर्मकारी मानकर प्रतिकूल
So, do not repay evil for evil or insult with insult. On the contrary, repay evil with blessing, because to this you were called so that you may inherit a blessing. It's a very important message that he is giving us in this chapter. That we should not repay evil for evil and insult with insult. So we do work in our different departments, especially in casualty and other places of high anxiety and high dependency units, where the relatives can be very loud and insulting and all that. So here is a message for us that we should not do evil for evil and insult for insult. And so we should show compassion and not repay evil for evil. This may seem impossible for us to do at times, especially when confronted with disagreeable situations. Yet by following these instructions, our lives will be transformed to look more and more like Jesus. In summary, God expresses His love on earth through acts of compassion demonstrated by Jesus in miracles and teachings.
Jesus' compassion is evident in healing the sick, feeding the hungry, and forgiving sinners. As we see in our Constitution, it says we have to express God's love as shown in Jesus Christ. And that is a command which is given to us. And that we see that we are called to reflect His love, express His love. And how do we do it? That is what we are trying to look at it today. How do we reflect His love in our workplace? God has reflected it to us when He was on earth walking and talking with us on earth. And how do we do the same in our workplace? And that is by seeing the need and responding to it, recognizing the need and responding to it, showing kindness and mercy in all that we do. Forgiveness is an expression of God's love, which we need to do daily when we come across our working, whether it be a patient, it be a relative, or students, teachers, and our colleagues. We need to serve others selflessly. Lots of times we see family just come as a priority, but our family is given by God. But then we are also called to serve what we have been called to serve, and that is our work. So serving others selflessly and not retaliating when wronged. So these are the 5 things which we find are a little bit of what we can do as an expression of God's love in our workplace. True compassion involves not just feeling another's pain, but being moved to share it, following Christ's example.
So time and again we have found in the readings that He was moved with compassion and moved by the strong faith of people. In bringing back to life of Lazarus, Jesus was very moved. Then came the smallest verse, Jesus wept. That is the expression of God's love. We need to inculcate it within us. We can only express this kind of love if we have a relationship with God through Jesus.
Thank you, and God bless.